All right, well, welcome back to the PAT podcast, everybody. Today, our guest is Mrs. Jessica Popham.
Hello.
Hi, Jessica is a social studies teacher with us here at Perry High School, and we want to make sure and thank you for taking some time to be with us today. We really appreciate it. I have some questions for you, some of them specifically about Perry, maybe another one or two that are kind of off topic some, but I'm going to rapid fire those to you.
Okay.
So feel like giving me any information you would like about each one of them.
Sounds good.
All right, so question number one, if you could share a little bit about your journey with us and how you came to be a part of Perry High School.
Sure. So when I went to college, I wanted to be a lawyer. That was the goal, was to be a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah, I've always loved politics, law, constitutional law especially. So I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. So I went to ASU to be a lawyer. Couldn't find the right law that fit and really thought about why did I love that element. And then I realized it was because of my social studies teachers. So about year 3, decided to change course and get my teaching certificate. So I actually finished my degree in political science and then went straight into a master's program to get my teaching cert. And then went back and student taught at the school I graduated at with a teacher that I had as a teacher. Loved it, was teaching AP US History, and decided that I really wanted to teach government and economics. That was my goal. So I ended up getting hired. I was, a new teacher, willing to go pretty much anywhere. Ended up getting hired at a very tiny school that's like basically the opposite of Perry in every way. Like we had maxed out at 300 students.
Oh, wow.
And it was in downtown Phoenix, right next to the ballparks, called Bioscience High School in Phoenix Union High School District. And ended up teaching, got hired to teach government and economics. Also ended up teaching US history, world history, English at all 4 levels at some point in time, and even math one time, but I don't like to type on my math stint. And then realized when I became a mom that I wanted to be closer to home. I was sick of doing the commute and started looking around and researched all the schools closer here and always heard good things about Perry. And I had went and actually met with a few teachers, some that are still here, some that are not, and asked them what's this Perry place like? And they had great things to say. And I even shadowed Mr. Myers for a day before applying officially. I was like, can I come shadow you to see if this is a good fit? And I loved it and applied and got the job. So my first year here, I was a traveling teacher for 2 years because we were bursting at the seams. And I got hired to teach government and psychology. So that was a fun first year. Loved it. And since then, I've pretty much been government economics for the most part, which were my first loves to begin with. I mean, since I became a teacher, the goal was to teach government economics and mostly seniors. And that's pretty much where I hang out now.
And how many years now at Perry?
At Perry, I think I just figured out this is year 9. I think it's 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So in your job with social studies as a teacher for us, what does a typical day in your job look like?
Well, it's different every day. But right now, I pretty much alternate government economics all day long. So I kind of start the morning usually with some warm-up questions, talking about current events, connecting whatever's happening in curriculum to what's happening in the world, which is not super hard to do, especially during an election year. And then switch over to econ. I tease the students that there's so much overlap between the two that sometimes I forget which class I'm in because there's a lot of overlap between the content. And then last year, we actually started a new course here at Perry, the financial literacy. And so that's been my other little baby. And we have 10 through 12th graders in there. So it gives us a chance to be a little more flexible with an elective class where students kind of learn all those adulting skills and how to make good life decisions and choices in what they do in their future. So that's in the middle of my day. And then I kind of wrap up with seniors. And being that all the seniors are ready to graduate, there's always new things. Like I get calls for recruiters wanting to talk to students throughout my day, and signing days, and kids want help with scholarships, kids want help with letters of recommendation and stuff like that. So it's different every day, but a lot of it is helping them get to the next step.
So,
Yeah.
so what part of your job would people be surprised if they knew about?
I think part of it is just how much we help our seniors kind of get to the next step. But another part that I didn't talk about in the journey is that aside from my main day job of social studies teacher, throughout my 16 years of teaching, I've discovered a love of robotics. And so I've been a robotics coach in Arizona for going on 20 years, even before I was a teacher. And so this year, some students asked me if I would help them restart Perry's robotics team. So we've been spending a few days every day, every week trying to get that going. And it's just a passion of mine. I myself am not great at making robots or building robots. I would say that I could if I needed to, but my job is to encourage them to do it, But I love what it does for kids and watching them kind of explore and innovate. So I think that would surprise people that I do that, because it's not a normal thing for a social studies teacher to be in this engineering space, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let's change the path here a little bit for the next question. Okay. So if you could have dinner with any historical figure, past or present, who would it be and why?
So I had a feeling you were going to ask this. So I've been going back and forth, and I've had so many names pop in my head, and I still couldn't pinpoint one. Some that went through my head was my favorite musical band of all time is Queen. So Freddie Mercury would be pretty cool. I think just for the experience, because I don't think there would be any experience would be like Kanye West or Elon Musk. I think those would be really interesting experiences. I think just kind of life advice. I was thinking like the YouTuber Mark Rober or Mark Cuban. I think Mark Cuban is a very smart business guy, and I think he's got a lot of experience he could offer for life. But we were actually thinking about this earlier, and I think it'd be really fun to sit down between Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Seeing some of those interviews that they had, I think that might be the most fun, would be to have dinner with those two.
And because you are a Tempe person,
yes,
if there's an opportunity to take them to dinner, where are we going to dinner? Where are you taking them?
Can I resurrect restaurants?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know what I do right now, but I was actually just talking to someone before that as a kid, because I was born and raised in Tempe. I mean, I lived in South Tempe, and my big memories was Minder Binders, and my favorite when I was a kid was Monty's La Casa Vieja. Sure. Monty's, yep. Yes. So it would definitely be Monty's. Today, where would I go today that's still open? Maybe what's it, like Macayo's or something like that. But yeah, Monty's was a big memory as a kid. Yep.
All right, back to Perry.
Yep.
What do you wish that more people understood about us?
We are very large, very big. It feels so small, but so big at the same time, or so big and so small. There is so much happening at all times that, I try to attend a lot of sporting events and activities and cheer on our fine arts. And at any given night, there is so much going on. So there's so much for our students to find their place, their niche, their why. And just there's so much that it makes it feel like very big. There's a place for everybody, but yet it's a small community kind of thing.
Very nice. And then lastly, we all have choices about where we can work.
Yeah. What
makes Perry the place for you?
I mean, the people is a big part of it. In economics, we a lot of times will kind of look at the show The Profit. And in the show The Profit, there's the guy who runs it, Marcus Lemonis, and he always says, people, product, and then the I can't think of what it is right now. Process. That's it. Process. Yeah. And I think we have a really good process here. We have really good infrastructure. Our campus is beautiful. Admin is awesome. the curriculum, what we have available to us. I mean, just sitting in this studio here, like what we have available to us. The product, I think, is amazing. Like, I think our students come out very well prepared for the future. And then the people. I have awesome coworkers, awesome our classified staff and our admin and the students. Our students are so respectful and yes, they're just so happy to be here most of the time. I mean, we can't always be happy and there are always issues, that come up, but for the most part, I think that we have an awesome product. We have this process down, and then the people make it.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica, thank you again for
Yeah.
taking some time this afternoon to be with us on the PA Team podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.